Y'all, I'll Be Sure is lighting a fire under Diddy, and he is bringing some hard evidence of how Diddy has been allegedly unaliving people in his circle. Remember when I'll Be Sure mysteriously fell sick and almost died a couple of years ago? Well, not only is he claiming that Diddy was allegedly behind it and poisoned him, but he is also claiming that Diddy orchestrated Kim Porter's allegedly. Al is Kim's ex-husband, and not only is he fighting for justice for himself, but also for Kim as well. And get this, he has managed to get the feds to reopen the case into Kim Porter's death, and they are now treating it as a homicide. If Diddy thought that Homeland Security raiding his house was bad enough, it's about to get even worse, because this homicide case and the RICO charges is about to hit hard. So y'all know how the feds are closing in fast on Diddy? Well, it turns out that they have been working with some celebs who know Diddy personally and have been wronged by him. And surprise, surprise, there seems to be a very long list of celebs who have been wronged by Diddy, and some of them are now speaking out against him and exposing him for the shady and honestly kinda illegal things that he has been doing for a long time now. I'll Be Sure is one of the people who has been bold enough to speak out against Diddy, and he is speaking with his full chest, accusing Diddy of poisoning him, Kim Porter, allegedly. It's not surprising that Al is in the front line of those exposing Diddy, because he and Diddy have beef that goes back years to the 90s. Not only did he accuse Diddy of stealing his woman, Kim Porter, but he also stole the son that Al had with Kim, Quincy. What a lot of people didn't know is that Kim Porter wasn't just Al Be Sure's baby mama. According to him, they were actually married, but they chose to keep that part of their lives private. In a 2020 interview, Al finally admitted that he and Kim were secretly married, saying, "Every time I post something, I forget it's me. I'm a grandfather, so my concern is not being popular and trying to get numbers and likes. That's not what I do. But I posted something the other day talking about my ex-wife. Yeah, I said it, my ex-wife, Kimberly, but nobody knew because we didn't discuss being married. We didn't discuss that. Every so often, I give her a tribute." This explains why Al has been so salty at Diddy for so long. Let's not even get into the fact that when Diddy got with Kim Porter, he adopted Al's son, Quincy, even though Al was alive and actually wanted to be in Quincy's life and co-parent him with Kim peacefully. However, according to Al, Diddy stepped in and manipulated the situation, isolating Quincy from his biological father. Girl, Diddy even went as far as to manipulate Quincy, even as an adult, to the point where Quincy publicly denounced himself from Al, claiming that Diddy was the only father that he knew. He wrote an open letter to Al where he said, "Albert Brown, also known as Al Be Sure, is my biological father, but Sean Combs, also known as Diddy, has been a father figure in my life for as long as I can remember. Sean Combs is a person whom I look up to and appreciate as a father. As far as my biological father goes, the spitting image is all I have taken from him." Child, that's a lot to unpack, but Al didn't hold it against Quincy, instead hinting that the boy had been a victim of manipulation. He said, "I'm a human being, so of course, hearing about any family member being disappointed with you is devastating. But what can you do? I'm a human being and my job is to fix it. I will not engage in a private family matter with the public, but I will say that Quincy is the most wonderful, kind young man in the world, and whatever he and I are going through, we are going to work it out. And that's all that counts." But like turning his son against him wasn't bad enough, Al also claimed that Diddy allegedly was the one who poisoned him. Y'all remember back in 2022 when Al mysteriously fell sick and everyone thought that he was going to die. His illness was so weird and a combination of so many things, including renal failure. He even fell into a coma and we thought that it was the end of the road for him, but he luckily made a full recovery, got a liver transplant, and lived. However, that was not the entire story. Well, at least not according to Al himself, because he believes that Diddy was behind his illness. Jaguar Wright also supports this because in an interview, she pointed out how weird it was that people around Diddy were dying and dropping like flies.
And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost died.
Jaguar also pointed out how the people around Diddy who passed away did so under the shadiest and most suspicious circumstances.
Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. and then he goes into a coma.
I mean, think about it. What is the chances that all these people conveniently passed away when they were working on exposés that would have ruined him? And with Al now coming out to claim that Diddy poisoned him, it kind of makes us wonder what crazy things these people would have exposed if only they had lived. And speaking of Kim Porter, Al is now pushing to have the investigation into her death reopened, especially now that the feds have reopened the investigation into the 1999 shooting case involving Diddy and Jennifer Lopez. There have been speculations for a long time that there was more to the case than we know, because the circumstances were just so shady. First off, there's the reports that she was writing a tell-all book about Diddy before she passed. And from the excerpts that we've seen, let's just say that it would have been really bad for Diddy if she had exposed him. The book contained reports on how Diddy allegedly SA'd Usher when he was living with Diddy, how Diddy allegedly gave Usher herpes, how he got Mary J. Blige pregnant and then forced her to get rid of it, and all that stuff. A blind item also made this claim.
So what was in Kim's book? You want to hear it? Here it go. Now, I cannot confirm or deny what's in this book, but ain't nobody fit Natasha K. me. So in this book, it detailed his relationships with men, footage of those encounters. It had the names of the men he slept with, a disease, allegedly Diddy giving Usher a disease.
Al has been making a case for the investigation, and he's got some pretty convincing arguments, pointing out how Diddy is known for putting hands on women, including Kim.
Just with this Cassie thing, I didn't know her, but I knew somebody like her, and that was Kim Porter. I didn't know Cassie, but I knew somebody who was going through the same thing she was going through, and that was Kim Porter.
There's also this news report about how Kim somehow broke her nose when she and Diddy got into a bad argument. The report said Diddy Combs' girlfriend Kim Porter was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in St. Tropez. Combs flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident. Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on the table. He then went on to claim that when Kim and Diddy first broke up, Kim moved on with another guy, Shakir Stewart, and Diddy lost his mind out of jealousy and he beat him up to a pulp. According to an insider, Kim was seeking Shakir and Diddy found out and he went ape it. He tracked Shakir down to his hotel, then Diddy went up there without security and beat him to a bloody pulp. Don't let the shiny suits and curls fool you. Diddy will F a man up. A few weeks later, Shakir was found dead in his home from gunshot wounds, and it was ruled as him unaliving himself. Like, be for real right now. Nobody in Shakir's circle believed that he unalived himself, and Al certainly doesn't believe that as well, and he has pointed fingers at Diddy, hinting that Diddy allegedly knows more about the situation than he's telling. Which brings us to the case of Kim's death. The official autopsy claimed that she passed away from pneumonia, but again, people have called BS on this, claiming that she was murdered, and it certainly wasn't an accident. Kim's family also feels like there's something fishy about her passing because they were talking to the FBI and were even planning on filing a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy. The source said they all have been contacted by the FBI, and 3 family members and 6 friends have been interviewed already and have been told to stay quiet. According to Kim's ex, Cassie told lawyers upon filing her own lawsuit against Diddy that she had information about the death of Kim Porter, and she has proof of the reason why Kim was. Oh, and don't even get me started on the allegations that there is a lot of cover-ups over Kim's death. And this anonymous person claimed that when Kim passed, there were questions about the manner in which she died. If they are going to say that it was pneumonia and that she passed peacefully in sleep, then why was there blood located on Kim's pillowcases and also a slight trail of blood on the bedroom floor that led to the bathroom? Then there are the allegations about how her 911 call for help went unanswered. The source said, also, the last call Kim made was to 911 at 2:43 a.m., but Kim was found passed away later in the morning around 11 a.m., according to Kimora Simmons. Like, that's not suspicious enough. Y'all know how I said that the autopsy showed that she died from pneumonia? Well, what a lot of people don't know is that there was actually a first autopsy that found toxins in her blood and claimed that she didn't die from pneumonia, hinting that she was murdered. But the coroner who performed that autopsy was fired and replaced by another coroner who ruled that she died of pneumonia. Hold up, because it gets even more suspicious, because the first coroner who tried to raise the alarm passed away under what was ruled as natural causes. Again, I'll Be Sure is not buying this, and he wants this to be investigated as well. Now, y'all might not know this, but this isn't the first time that Al has been throwing shade at Diddy and hinting that Diddy knew more about Kim's passing than we thought. In an Instagram post a couple of months ago, he wrote, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned of Kim Porter's and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden. over pneumonia. That's some BS. We just celebrated our son's new deal and Christmas special with Netflix, and she was in fantastic health, as well as laughing seeing me and Diddy's mutual exchange at the theater. I'm going to leave it here. Don't let the love songs fool you. Child, not him tagging Diddy with his full chest. Al also hinted that Kim was unalived, posting a throwback picture of them in writing. She sent me this saying, "Life imitating art, art imitates life." Now it all makes sense. She told me some other stuff too. She was running. I said, call the FBI. Whew, girl, that's a lot to unpack. And Al is eager to see Diddy do some time for allegedly poisoning him and unaliving Kim Porter. Fans are on Al B. Sure's side, and they said, so I just learned that not only was Kim Porter obviously by Diddy, but apparently the autopsy person who initially ruled it a homicide also mysteriously died. And then the ruling was mysteriously thrown out and changed to death by pneumonia. I hope Diddy dies in prison. I'm more interested in the truth about the relationship between Diddy, Kim Porter, and Al B. Sure. Talk about a real sinister conspiracy. I can bet money that Diddy most likely killed Kim Porter. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Al spilling this tea, and then check out this next video.